Today we're going to discuss the four most important self-defense skills, ranking from the most important to the least. They might surprise you. Here we go. Howdy everybody, welcome back to the channel where our goal is to provide relevant education and accurate information for all things self-defense from the civilian perspective for civilians. My name is Craig. Just this past week in jiu-jitsu class, one of our female black belts came up to me and was asking me, she wants to take one of our classes, learn how to shoot. And I told her, I said, look, you've already accomplished 90% of what I wish people would accomplish when it comes to self-defense. The thing that she wants to learn, is the last final martial art. And yes, while I love firearms and firearms are the great multiplier, I can essentially, take an 80-year-old, 90-year-old individual in a wheelchair and effectively arm them and allow them to defend themselves. People want to jump to that magical talisman, and you're skipping everything else that you need to do beforehand. And I know coming from a gun guy that might sound weird, but these are the four skills with regards to self-defense that you need to learn in order from most important to least. So here's number one. Guys, and this just comes with a mindset change. You need to realize that violence exists and you are not immune to it. I find it hilarious when I see these videos posting on social media where people get in a fight or where one person is antagonizing another one and he says, "I dare you to hit me," and the dude hits him. And people get so surprised about that. I'm like, the dude just asked him to hit him. What's so surprising about him honoring that wish or honoring that request? Violence shouldn't surprise you in our society anymore. And so once we get past that fact, once we get past the fact of, I could be a potential target, I am not immune to violence, then you've just taken the next step, right? We talk about in jiu-jitsu, the most important belt that you put on is taking off that leather belt and putting on that white belt. That's what you are doing. You are coming to the realization, you are having that awareness around you that, hey, it might be a good idea for me to start paying attention to other people's mannerisms or how people act, or what do people do when they're about to perform an illegal activity, felonious or not, right? So having that mindset, that situational awareness of, something, I'm going to accept the fact that I am responsible for my own self-defense, and I'm just going to take a mental awareness to that fact and start to see things in a different light. So that's number one, your mental state and situational awareness. Number two, and this is a very difficult one as well, very unsexy, or it might be. We have to realize most criminal attacks, whatever you want to call them, are crimes of opportunity. People see that you have something that they want, whatever it is, valuable goods, whatever. People see something that you have that they want. And criminals, they're stupid, but they're not stupid, right? They're going to take the path of least resistance to get that. And so number two is you need to get your physical fitness in check. Going back, criminals want to take the path of least resistance. So if they see this, let's say they want an iPhone, right? And they see this 6'3", 250-pound dude that's just, it looks like this guy works out versus, a 5'6", 120-pound, 70-year-old lady. Who do you think they're going to go after, right? And I know that's an extreme dichotomy, but what I'm talking about is you need to get your physical fitness in check. You need to get your weight in check and get into the gym. Get stronger. Mark Ripito, one of my favorite strength and conditioning guys, he has a saying, stronger people are generally more beneficial to society and more difficult to kill. So if it looks like you're going to be a hard target, if it looks like you're going to make that criminal fight for what he wants, typically he's going to pass on for a lesser target. And we talk about in our classes, they go after the weak, the old, the young, the infirm, those who can't take care of themselves. So that's what you need to do. Number two, start getting your fitness in check, whether if that's gaining weight, losing weight, get in the gym, get your strength up. Another reason too, when we get guys in the gym coming to jiu-jitsu, Besides wrestlers, so the people that give us the most trouble when they come in are those who come in and they are strong and athletic. They have no skill whatsoever, but they can tolerate, they have enough stamina and enough strength to where they can make a fight out of it. And so out on the streets, if they can do that in the gym with a skilled individual, what do you think that they can do out on the streets against an unskilled individual? It gives them more of a chance to win that fight. So number 2, get your health in check, get your fitness in check. Guys, if you need to get in the gym, lift those weights, please do that, but do something to where you are more physically fit. Number 3, and this is one of my passions, guys, you have to learn an empty-handed, close quarters, close contact skill. Jiu-jitsu, judo, wrestling, sambo. And the reason why I say close contact, close quarters, I love Muay Thai, I love kickboxing, boxing, all that stuff. I asked my old Muay Thai coach, Mark Beecher, years ago, who was also a high-level jiu-jitsu practitioner. I said, Mark, if you were to get in a street fight with somebody, what would you prefer? Take them to the ground or stand up? He said, I prefer to take them to the ground. And I asked him why. Is because he said, regardless of somebody's skill, when you're standing toe-to-toe and you're throwing punches, that other guy's got at least a puncher's chance to land something. And one of the things that you learn in like jiu-jitsu and wrestling and judo and all that stuff, you learn distance management, right? So there's acceptable distances to where I can get away. The closer that they get, if I can hit them, they can hit me. But I can also, where we are the most comfortable, is closing that gap, right, to where there is no distance. And that's where most fights end up at. They end up on the ground. They end up at zero contact distance. And so you need to learn how to deal with that. You need to learn how to fight against somebody like that under extreme stress, under adrenaline dumps. Keep your mind clear so that you can prevail, whatever that is. You escaping that fight, you choking that guy out, whatever it is. So once you've had that mindset done, you're getting your fitness in check. Now, if you want to start training like wrestling or jiu-jitsu, that will take care of your physical fitness. So trust me, you do not need to come to the mats, strong and fit. Jiu-jitsu, wrestling, that will get you there. But you need to learn those skills, those empty-handed skills, so that you can be able to actively control somebody who does not want to be controlled without potentially hurting them. So that is number 3. You got to learn some close quarters grappling skills because that's where most fights, empty-handed fights, end up. And, you need to be able to do that. And last, guys, this is the last 10% or the 5%, whatever it is. The great equalizer, as Samuel Colt said, the firearm. You need to learn to shoot. If you carry a firearm, you need training. If you carry a firearm and you don't have training, then you are essentially a holster for somebody else to grab your gun, right? Just because the fact that you have a pistol is not a magic talisman that wards off evil spirits. You need to train with that pistol. You need to become competent with that pistol so that when the time arises, you can be good enough to win the day. While most people, like I said, want to jump to the firearm, and it is the great equalizer, that's one of the things that I love about it, we miss all those other things that are just as important because we're going to use those things. We're going to use that situational awareness, that mindset, that physical fitness, those empty-handed skills. We're going to use those much more often or more frequently than we will ever have to pull a gun or use our firearms. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. I know a lot of people jump to the gun, but we need to get our mindset right. We need to realize that violence exists. Start to understand the criminal mindset, how they think, how they operate, what they look for. Get your fitness in check, right? And then go learn some empty-handed skills. Once you have done that, I mean, the world is your oyster. You should be able to handle almost anything that comes your way. But anyway, guys, those are the 4 critical self-defense skills that you need, just from my experience. Thank y'all so much for watching, guys. Be safe, be smart, be skilled. We'll catch you on the next one.